Hello, everyone. I'm Kat Faraci here with Big Grief Questions. It's a YouTube channel I have started for you. So bear with me as I'm getting going. I'm trying something new. I got like a separate little microphone thing here to see if maybe that will pick up the voice better. I'm an old dog learning some new tricks. But I hope that as I continue to work out some of the kinks of doing videos, because I'm not used to necessarily doing that, you'll just bear with me and you'll benefit from the information that we're going to share together. Big Grief Questions is for you to be able to ask the questions that you have about grief. So if you have specific questions, and you want to put them in the comments below, please certainly do that. Or you can reach out to me directly through email at biggriefquestions@balancing.grief.com. I'm a grief coach and the founder of Balancing Grief. And you can go to balancinggrief.com to find out much more about me and what I do and what's available for you. There's some free tip sheets on there. You can get my book, Grief the Teacher. It's available on Amazon, on Kindle, and you can also get it through my website. And I'd really appreciate it if you check it out. That would be wonderful. Grief the Teacher is the teacher we never wanted with the lessons only love and loss can teach. So that is that. I'd really appreciate if you do get the book that you let me know what you think about it. You can return to Amazon and put a comment on it, or you can comment here or email, like I said, at biggriefquestions@balancinggrief.com. So let's get started. For the question we have for today is, how do I move on without my loved one? I know I asked that question over and over again through my losses, and I'm certainly confident you have too. I've worked with hospice for 25 years, and I've literally worked with thousands of clients. And that's a common statement when we lose a loved one is what do I do now? How do I how do I function? How do I go on from here? How do I move on? I can't even see a future without my loved one. I can't see my future without my loved one. I'm not even sure how I'm going to get through today. And I think the first thing that I want to point out to you is that time doesn't stop, and you are already moving on after your loved one's passing. So it's not so much the question is, how do I do this? Because you already are. It might be horrible and uncomfortable and difficult and challenging and overwhelming, but it's happening. So you don't really need to question how is it going to happen, because time marches on. And that's a sad truth and reality. And there's nothing we can do to stop it. So with that being said, you know, the fact that you are getting up every day and you are taking a breath and you are brushing your teeth and you are getting dressed and you're getting something to eat and you're probably going to work or taking care of children or running a million errands throughout the day. And maybe your mind is being overwhelmed with thoughts of your loss that are ruminating and going on. And it feels like I can't move on. The fact is, you actually are. Now, have some of you had this experience where I remember this explicitly after my mom passed away because it was so significant. I went into the grocery store. She had it was like the day before she had passed away, and the next day I had to get groceries, because we had to do what we had to do. And I go in there, I got my idea of what it is I need to get, and I'm pushing the cart, and I just stop. And I just stand there. And I'm looking around, and I'm watching all the people move. And it's like the world was just spinning around me. And I was just standing still. And it feels like life is moving on without you. It's a very common reaction in grief because your life has just been altered significantly and your nervous system is fogging out to be able to try to understand what has just happened in your life. Your brain just can't comprehend it all. You're somewhat in shock. You're definitely in shock. There's no doubt about it. But time does march on, and eventually your nervous system, your brain catches up, and your heart catches up to what the reality of life is. So don't spend too much time ruminating about how you're going to move on because life is just going to move on. What the better focus is, and this is the truth, is that your loved one never actually is leaving you in a standstill. Because the physical body is gone, the tangible touch is gone, does not mean that the love you have for your loved one and they have for you is gone. That is still very much present. So when you feel a sense of being overwhelmed, and I don't know how I'm going to get through today, I don't know how I'm going to get through tomorrow, I don't know how I'm going to march on through the rest of my life, just give yourself a pause. Just take a pause. Take some deep breaths. In for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 8. And then just focus on how much they love you and you love them. Now, most people would argue, but that's not the same. I can't hug them. I can't talk to them. I can't touch them. I can't feel them. Well, let me ask you this. Those things are just a tangible expression of love. Can you actually feel tangibly love? Some of you are going to say, well, kind of, yeah, you do feel love. I feel loved and nobody's touching me. And then some of you say, well, I feel loved when somebody holds my hand. But the truth is, they're loving you whether you're holding their hand or not. Now, I have people who don't live with me that I don't see on a daily basis, namely my children and grandchildren, that I don't get to touch and hold on a regular basis. But what I do have is I know they love me and I love them. And at any moment, at any time of the day, I can put my thoughts into that direction and I can feel their love for me. So while you can't talk to your loved one on the phone, and while you may not be able to hold their hand and hug them, those tangible expressions of love are definitely past. But the love is still very viable, very real. you can still feel your love, and you can still feel their love for you. I hope that helps. I hope that you can spend some time processing that information and helping to find again the balance in grief, what has been lost and what is still possible. Because when we start to find the balance in grief, that's when we begin to feel the closeness that we desire from our loved ones. Okay? All right. Again, if that was helpful to you, please put a comment below, subscribe, hit like. I would really appreciate that. And please don't hesitate. If you disagree with what I have had to say, or you have more questions about what I have had to say, let's talk about it. We need to talk about this stuff in a very real way so that you will be able to find the balance that you need in your grief. Okay? Thanks for tuning in. There's more to come. All right. I hope you have a wonderful day. Love you.